Buying a DJ controller has never been more confusing than it is right now. Do you need a beginner controller? How much do you have to spend? Do you want to do this as a hobby or professionally? Every couple of years, DJ gear gets updated with new features and the marketing will make you feel like you need these features, but in reality, you don't. Look at the DJs that you look up to and the DJing scene in general, and if no one is using those features, then you probably don't need them to be a good DJ. So rest assured that I'm not going to give you the super snooty advice that you need to spend at least $1,000 in order to get a good experience from your controller. There are two bottom lines walking into this. Number one, there is no such thing as a beginner controller. And I don't mean beginner in the sense that it's your first controller. I mean it the way that most people would imagine it to have, like an easier setting to work with and make DJing easy for you. That does not exist. Every time you see a beginner controller, it simply means that it has limited functionality, but you still need to learn how to DJ in order to use it. Because believe it or not, this DDJ 200 works the same as my current controller, which is the DDJ 1000, at least from a DJing perspective. Number two, anything less than $200 is most likely a toy, and you can still use it to learn how to DJ and to have fun, but you're not going to use it for anything more than that. This video will make it easy for you to choose, and I'll take you through every step of the way. There are controllers and standalone units. A controller requires a laptop, phone or tablet to function, where the music is stored on the computer, and then a standalone unit is like a controller with a built-in computer or tablet, where the music in this case would be stored on an external USB or hard drive, and you'd simply connect the USB to the controller and then play the music. There are also media players or CDJs as most people know them, but we're not going to talk about them in this video. If you saw a video of somebody doing this and you want to be able to do that, that is called open format scratch DJing, and you should leave this video and search the Pioneer DJ Rev 7 or the Rain 1, which are the best in this category. I'm going to list controllers in the following categories and give you two suggestions for each. So that's entry level, budget, premium, and standalone. These are bare bones controllers that cannot be used for anything more than basic home use. They don't have the ability to connect directly to speakers via RCA or XLR. So you would rely on the speakers on your device or connect the speakers via this Y cable that can connect to speakers via an audio jack. The first on this list is the DDJ 200 from Pioneer DJ. I've used this before to make videos on the internet and I've had fun with it. You can use it either with a smartphone, tablet, or laptop. When using it with your laptop, you can do that with Rekordbox, which is Pioneer software that is used by their premium controllers. I have a review video of this controller and you can check it out here. Another really good option in this list is the Newmark Party Mix 2. This has everything that you get from the DDJ 200, but it adds an element of fun and playfulness which the Pioneer doesn't have. It has lights which are part of its party theme, and there's a version of it that has built-in speakers so that you can use it without needing to plug in anything externally, which is pretty dope. Both of these controllers are less than $200 and they can be found in the description below along with every other controller mentioned in this video. On to the budget kings. These are controllers falling in between $200 and $500, and in my opinion, these are the best value for money for anyone who's getting started. They're not pro, but taking them to a club or event is possible and common. You basically get what is essentially a complete controller experience without needing to pay a lot of money, which is always welcome. The first in this list is probably the most popular controller currently, and that's the FLX4 from Pioneer DJ. This is the replacement for the DDJ 400 and can use both Rekordbox and Serato, which means you're not tied to any software. It has some smart features that I personally wouldn't use, and if you use them over and over again, then your mixes would start to sound gimmicky. But yeah, the Flex 4 is a really solid controller. Option number 2 is the Hercules Impulse 500. It has multiple inputs and outputs that are slightly more pro than the competition at this price range, making it a better option if you want to play anywhere that is not your bedroom. You can either use it with D-Juice or Serato, which is pretty neat as well. Another thing that sets it apart from the competition is the performance pads, which are RGB instead of monochrome like every other controller in this price range. Even the Pioneer FLX6, which is way more expensive than this, is not RGB. By the way, if you're new to this channel, my name is Tozy and I make videos about music production, DJing, and the tech involved. And if that's something that's interesting to you, please consider subscribing. These are the best of the best controllers that are not standalone, meaning you would still need a laptop to use them even though they look and feel like the club standard equipment. You can play with these anywhere you like because they have pro connectors including XLR and TRS. Pretty much everything that's found on club standard DJing equipment is here, except the ability to play without a laptop. The first one here is the replacement for my current controller. What I have here is the DDJ 1000, which is honestly awesome. It was the best controller ever made until it was replaced by the FLX10, which is just better in every possible way. This is a 4-channel controller that has screens in the middle of the jog wheels. And what makes this particular controller really outshine my DDJ 1000 is the dedicated stem control, meaning you can isolate vocals, instruments, and drums while the song is playing, which is really cool. It's also compatible with both Serato and Rekordbox, which in case I haven't mentioned yet, are two of the most popular software in DJing. And then the second option here is the Rainfall, which is honestly just as good as the FLX10. They have a couple of differences here and there, but ultimately they offer a similar experience. The Rain one is only compatible with Serato and it's slightly better build quality than the Pioneer. Standalone units are basically mid-range to high-end controllers that have the ability to play without a laptop. They accept USBs, SD cards, and hard drives, and they all have pro connectors, so you can use them pretty much anywhere. And for this list, I'm going to give you more than 2 options. Starting with the Numark Mixstream Pro, which is the cheapest in this list, but in my opinion, it's the best value for money for anyone looking for a standalone unit. It has a touch screen that you can use for all kinds of things, including searching for your tracks. It also has the ability to stream music online, which is kind of cool. The built-in speakers make it possible to play without any external output, but what really takes the cake is that there's a version that has a built-in battery which allows you to use it pretty much anywhere, even in the middle of nowhere without any external speakers or power, which is kind of crazy. Alpha Theta, which is basically Pioneer DJ, sells something like this called the Omnis Dual, but it costs 3 times more, which feels overpriced when something like this exists. The second option in this list is the Denon DJ SC Live 2 and 4. One is a 2-channel controller and the other one is 4. The layout on these is different and pretty much better than the Numark, but they basically have the same features, including the ability to stream music online. However, the SC Live 4 has 8 performance pads instead of 4, and it has a jog wheel display that tells you everything about the tracks you're playing. The biggest advantage that it has over the Numark is that the mixer section resembles the club standard more, but then again the Numark is battery powered, which is a really big flex. And then lastly, it's this spaceship looking Pioneer DJ Opus Quad. It has every feature that you can imagine except for engine lighting, which the other 2 controllers have. This is basically to control the lighting during your set. If you have the money, you should definitely buy this thing. It does, however, have 2 downsides. The first is the price. It's just too expensive compared to units from other companies. And the number 2 is if you are experienced and you're used to having dedicated buttons and knobs for certain effects, then Pioneer has decided to put them in the touchscreen. And they're not always ready for you to activate. You actually have to navigate to get to them, which can be annoying, especially if you have experience with knobs and buttons. But if you don't have experience at all, then you can check out my DJing course, The Modern DJ, down in the description. Or just watch this video that I made that teaches beginners how to DJ, which is much easier than you think. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.